All right, Canadians, we're going to talk about some defense now. I'm going to show you a little diagram of a running play. Now, I know this looks like really crazy and confusing, but just bear with me for a few seconds and I'll help you understand what's going on. If you look at the offense, they're running a simple outside pitch play to the defense's left. We're calling out strong left. That means we're in the middle of the field. The quarterback's usually right-handed, so the strength will be strong left. We've got a flanker out here who's going to come down and block the corner. This back here, number 3, is going to come outside and try and block the outside linebacker. The number 2 back is just going to receive a pitch outside wide. That's why he's all red, because he's getting the ball. Quarterback's going to pitch the ball out to him. And then all the offensive linemen here are just stepping to their right and trying to reach the outside shoulder of the defenders in front of them, except for these guys who are trying to double team that nose guard there, which we want. We want the double team to come so that this guy can keep these 2 guys off of our linebackers, who are very important players in terms of making tackles. So this is how we're going to run this. As we move towards the line of scrimmage, these guys are going to motion over. When the ball's snapped, our first step is going to be up as linebackers. We're going to step up, and then we're reading our keys and taking care of our gaps. This back is going outside. This Zach has this guy man-to-man, so that means he's going to be going outside. On our defensive line here, you guys are going to step up. The rush end's going to hit the outside shoulder of that tight end, and then he's got to read the play. If the ball's coming play side like it is to his side, he's going to go ahead and run the railroad tracks. That's the way we talk about pursuit. Instead of pursuing upfield, we turn our shoulders and start running towards the sideline, because the way it works is that if this guy's getting a pitch and he's 5 yards away from you, if you turn and run towards the sideline on a full sprint, there's no way that this guy can beat you outside. It just doesn't work that way. So that's how we pursue. This guy has B gap, so he steps into his guard, keeps his outside shoulder free. Once he sees the ball's going outside to his side, he too comes up and gets on those railroad tracks and pursues. This nose guard here will hit the center, and then he'll get up and start pursuing to the ball. And then when the ball goes away from the defensive end, you're going to do what's called shuffle technique, which means you're going to hit this outside player, this tight end or tackle, whoever you're going against, and then all you're going to do, instead of chasing the ball way down like these guys on the play side, you're going to stay home by shuffling to the feet of the guard on your side and then sitting there. That way, if the quarterback ends up keeping the ball, all you got to do is step up and make the tackle. Okay, so we'll talk more about that shuffle technique as we go, but it's very, very important. On this side, anytime this Sam gets a hard run read to his side, he's going to be flying to the D gap to make the tackle. The Zach, who's lined up 5 yards off the ball and over the guard, can also pursue right to the ball, especially because this back on his side, his assignment is going outside, so he needs to meet this back or help make the tackle. Our Mac is going to step up, and he's going to start going as soon as his gap is not threatened, which is the B gap to this side. But then the backside linebacker, our Will, he's got a slow play at a depth. So when he steps up and he sees the ball going away, he's got to step up and stay on the inside shoulder of this running back the entire time. So his job isn't to come screaming across the formation. That way, in case they run counter or reverse, you're there to make the play. This corner, as soon as he reads that it's run, you'll see that this wide receiver starts looking at you the whole time and then dropping his hips. He's probably setting up to block you. We'll teach you the technique to beat this guy outside, and then you're going to come up and force everything back in. So the way that our pursuit works is that everyone is running across the railroad tracks, as you see right now. They're trying to cut the ball carrier off on the outside and force the ball carrier to cut back to where everybody is in the help. We don't want the ball carrier to get outside of us. If he gets outside of us, it's going to be a big play or an easy score. So we have to be really disciplined in the way we pursue. So again, it looks like this. Everyone steps to their gap responsibilities. Boom, they read that it's run to their side. Everyone starts to get on the railroad tracks and running straight towards the sideline, except for this backside guy, the Will, who just trails on the inside hip in case it's reverse or cutback or counter. And this backside defensive end who's just going to shuffle to the feet of the guard, just like you're watching here. And he's going to sit. This guy's going to sit here and look for quarterback bootleg or reverse. The will linebacker is going to make sure that he's not outrunning the back, so that if this guy cuts back across, the will linebacker can make the play. The corner is very key to cut off the outside, and the Sam is very key to cut off the outside along with the rush end. Okay, I'll show that one more time. Boom, ball snapped, we read run, ball's coming to the left, everyone gets on their horse to the left, running the railroad tracks, and cuts the ball carrier off. If the play goes to the other way, just the opposite happens. Then this end has to cut him off, this wheel cuts him off, steps up and he goes, he steps up and he goes, and then this guy becomes that backside linebacker who sits on the inside hip of the running back, and this guy becomes the end that shuffles to the feet of the guard.